Here's another reason why you want to take control of what you're doing.
Everything kind of funnels into the only winning move is not to play the game.
I don't know, guys. This whole thing sounds pre-recorded.
Welcome to episode 86 of the Weather Report. Man, do we have a good show for you today. Wait, we're 14 episodes away from episode number 100. And man, let me tell you what, podcasts usually don't go that long. You're lucky to do them after, over like 10 episodes. So we're like rare, but we're ready to go, man, for another edition of the Weather Report. Like I said, we do this every Sunday on YouTube, Rumble, and if you're there live on X, you can see us there too. And I've got a very special guest today, a friend of mine that I've known for probably more than 20 years now, because we've done some fishing together, we've done some drinking together, we played some poker together, and he likes to make coffee. So I mean, here he is. His name is Joey DeSimone. Joey, how you doing today? Welcome to the Weather Report.
It's a little disconcerting that I'm number 86.
Right.
I don't know if you did that on purpose or what, Bruce.
I've been trying to get people to come on from our little group, but everybody has their own little views about who wants to be on camera, who wants to know that we've been in that group, and I guess it's kind of like a CIA secret or something like that. But no, me and Joey go back a long ways. We've done a lot of fishing together, we've done a lot of pokering, we've done a lot of campfiring, and a lot of drinking together, and it's just been fun. And Joey happens to be in the vending machine business, but he's got a lot of things that he's got going on. But first of all, I want to say hello to my co-host, Ken. Ken, how you doing today?
Doing great. It's 86 shows. Like you said, there's not many people. 1% of podcasts ever get to 100 shows. 1%. So we still have room to fail.
That's awesome. So what are you drinking today? What do you got in your cup today?
Well, tonight we're having a in celebration of the new coloring book Tiki-tober coming out here this Wednesday. I'm having a kind of a coconut pineapple whiskey mix.
Awesome.
Delicious.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, I am actually drinking a cup from our new sponsor, Colockum Craft Coffee, and I'm having a cup of Decoy Decaf. And Decoy Decaf, for the bold late night listeners, Decoy Decaf delivers the flavor without the wired finish. It's the official cup of the Weather Report's After Hours crew. Grab Decoy Decaf at colockumcraft.coffee and add the code WSMG, not for a discount, but to support small roasters and independent shows like ours. So there we go. And
Also, they have them available in K-cups for the
They do have them available in K-cups.
I buy them and bring them into work, and we buy the case of them, and they're gone in about 3 days.
They are very good. So I love all their coffees, and I become a coffee snob. When we're at the campsite, we're not too much coffee snobs over there because we put so much Baileys in it that we put a lot of Baileys in it and a little tink of coffee.
It's about a 50-50.
So Joey, how you doing, brother?
Doing really well, thank you.
Yeah, I know you're up there, 3 hours away from me, up in there in the Cleveland area. You guys having a little bit of weather up there yet, or what? What's going on?
We're supposed to have snow tonight, our first snow.
Wow.
So I'm excited about it. Fall was really short. We have really good color, but it was kind of short this year. But I love the snow, so I'm ready for it.
Right. Well, from an Air Force veteran to a Navy veteran, I salute you and happy Veterans Day to you before it comes on Tuesday. Yeah, I know I know that's important to some. I'm going to get it from my boss in the morning. I'm going to go in and he's going to go. He always does every year. And I go, oh yeah, it's Veterans Day. But
anyway. You should be doing it every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I had my finger on the button for a while. Kind of scary when you think about it.
We're all lucky to be alive with your finger on the button.
I mean, Joey knows me from back in the day. Let me tell you, back in the day. So he's going like, this guy had his finger on the button. Oh my God.
I think we first met. This picture is from 1992, my first year.
Yes.
On the fishing trip. And I think that's the first time we met was in 92. So it's been a while.
92. See, I started in 84 is when I started. Actually, yeah, 84 is when I started. Man.
Yeah, Bruce had just retired, and he says, "I'm going fishing." It's 1984, right?
They tease me about being the old man. God damn it. Hey, Joey, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into what your business is and who Joey is and you know, why you're here today.
Yeah, I'm a complicated man, Bruce. No, you know what? It's been a great life. I'm just rounding 70, and later this week I'll be 71. So
happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. But it's been so I'm in Cleveland, right? And I kind of did a full circle in my whole life. I was born just south of here, and went to a school just south of Cleveland in the suburbs here. And right after high school, my sister and mother were moving to California. So I was going to start college here, and I thought, I'll go out with them. And anyway, what happened was, I ended up joining the Navy. And when I got out there on my birthday, I remember telling my mother I wanted to go before my 18th birthday, and she wouldn't let me. And I said, well, Mom, I only got like 3 weeks to go. And she goes, I don't care. I won't sign it. So waited till my birthday and joined. And then like 3 weeks later, I was in boot camp in San Diego. And then what happened was I ended up, getting stationed in Chicago, near Chicago, north of Chicago. I'm not sure the base is still there. It's called Great Lakes. And but then I got transferred back to San Diego, and you know how things go. You kind of meet people, and you got girlfriends. You end up getting married, and so I never came back to Cleveland, and ended up having 2 girls, and we got 5. I've got 5 grandkids in California now.
Wow.
So, but I came back here in 2002 for my 30th high school reunion. And I kind of, re-met the current Mrs. DeSimone. So she, we talked on the phone. I'll never forget. This is 2002, right? We had cell phones.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Yeah, we had cell phones then, right? But they weren't unlimited minutes. So I'll never forget like my first bill, and because we would talk all night. I asked her at the reunion, can I call you? Yeah, call me. I never thought it would be like 8 hours a day, So after about a month, I get this bill, it's $450.
Holy smokes.
So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna just send her a ticket. I'm gonna send her
this girl. It's
cheaper.
I'm
just gonna send her a ticket to come out. This will be cheaper than me doing this, right? So I sent her a ticket, and she calls me crying, and she goes, I can't come out. And I go, why? She goes, I don't fly. I'm afraid of flying. I haven't flown in 15 years. I can't do it. And, me being the frugal one, I said, well, those are non-refundable. So if there's anything you could do to come out here, and like half later, she made it. And, the rest is history. About 6 months after that, she actually moved to San Diego. She ended up being a flight attendant. She got a job as a flight attendant. So talk about kicking a fear in the nads, right? And we lived in San Diego for about 10 years, and I had lived there already for 40 years, right? Really pretty much since I was in the Navy.
All I knew was you were in San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, and then we moved up because they opened up a hub in Salt Lake City. Alaska Airlines is who she worked for. Mm-hmm. We ended up moving to Park City, right. And so people would say, well, we were living in Park City and San Diego. It was really the best of both worlds for a few years, but it was really pricey. Mm. So after a few years, I said, well, let's just stay in Park City. We love it. And, it's an hour-and-a-half flight for you to get back to your base in San Diego. Let's just do that. So we ended up living up there. And then about 3 years ago, I said one day, I told her, I what do you think if we move back to Cleveland? I mean, what we can get in Cleveland for what we could get in California or even Park City is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So, and she didn't want to really come, and she never asked me to come back. She's got 2 kids, and she's got 4 grandkids here, so 3 grandkids. So we ended up moving back here. So again, going full circle, coming back home. What got me about it was, I love California, but when we lived in Park City, I realized how much I loved fall and the colors and the changes of, the 4 seasons, basically.
Yeah. Ken does that 4-season thing. In California, we only do 2 seasons.
2, spring and summer.
Hot and warm. That's what
we have. We have 5 seasons because summer's also road construction. So
that's right. Yeah. So we just got through the fall, which is my favorite time of the year. Which I never living in Southern California. You can go up to the mountains and see some color, but nothing like.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, there's no place like California where you can be 3 hours away from skiing or 3 hours away from the beach. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, I live in Gilroy, and that's how it is. I'm 20 minutes away from the beach and 3 hours from putting on a pair of skis, which I don't do anymore, but it used to be that way. But Joey, what did you do? What did you do for a living before you actually set out on retirement and this new entrepreneurial aspect that you got going on?
Yeah, while I was in San Diego, while I was in the Navy, I started going to junior college there. And I really got into a radio and TV. San Diego City College had a program for radio and TV. And I really got into that and did some work there at the station, KSDS, which is a jazz station and still is around. It's a much bigger station than when I was there in the 70s. And then I ended up going to San Diego State, and I graduated from there in 80, and almost immediately got married. And I ended up I got a job actually through San Diego State. They had a lot of partners that were looking for people in marketing, which is what my major was, and got a job with. I had met a girl in February of that year, and I started with Hallmark Cards just after that, and they said that you might have to leave. You may have to go, but it'll be somewhere west of the Mississippi. Your territory will be somewhere west of the Mississippi. Of course, I didn't want to leave California, and after 9 weeks of training, they contacted me and said, "Well, you're going to Texas." And I was crestfallen. I did not want to go to Texas. And then when I asked my wife, or soon-to-be wife, she had never been away from home. And so what happened after that was, I'll never forget this. It was the worst car ride of my life from San Diego to Austin, Texas.
That's a long ride.
My wife wouldn't talk to me. She wouldn't talk to me.
That's 18 hours. That's 18 hours easy.
She wouldn't talk to me. And I could do anything. I could pick my nose, fart in the car. I did, she would not talk to me, and it was brutal. Eventually, she grew to like Austin. Austin's a great city. What's not to like? And then I started going to a graduate school there, St. Edward's. It's a small Catholic university that had an MBA program. And once I graduated from there, I quit Hallmark and we moved back to California. And I had nothing. I didn't really have a job or anything. It was really because of pressure.
Joey rolling dice.
Yeah, spousal pressure. You heard of peer pressure, sibling pressure. Yeah, this was spousal pressure.
We're all there. We're in the multi-year contract for sure. So what was your end? I mean, where did you retire from? Just recently. I mean, you've retired now. You're out of Park City now, because I remember you doing your jazz thing, because you were the jazz guy from Park City, Utah.
You know what?
This is Joey DeSimone.
Yeah, that was fun. It's a NPR station in Park City, and KPCW, and so they needed people to play music at night. I mean, when they're not doing news, they're doing music.
Yeah.
And since I did it, although albeit 40 years prior, completely different technology. Now it's all digital. Back then it was all analog.
Right.
And it was fun. I had like a 4-hour show on a Saturday, 10 to 2, and I could play pretty much anything I wanted. And it wasn't a phone-in thing. It was really
Right.
just DJing and reading PSAs and news and things like that. It was a lot of fun. But what going back to like when we moved back to California, I kind of felt like, you're talking 1985. And I was thinking about what was going on in the world, and a buddy of mine started a business where he was selling apples, computers, right?
Oh, apples.
Yeah, and he had a whole business that was a software product for Mac at the time. It was really unique, and I thought, okay, so I'm like, I don't even know, 28. I said, I think computers are going to be around a while. Maybe that's a good thing to go into. And that's what I did until January of last year. Selling technology until January of this year. Selling technology, mostly to larger companies. Worked for a company called PC Connection, which is out of New Hampshire, and worked remotely my whole career with them. And
I did not know that.
It was really great. It was really, you were kind of on an island. So, but no, they didn't bother you. Of course, they wanted you to hit your numbers, but it was the best job. And I worked with the best people, and it was really hard to leave. Yeah, actually, so much so, I was supposed to leave 2 years prior. When I moved out here to California, I said, I'm going to leave. And then I went back for a sales meeting, and I went to my boss. I said, I'm going to stay. He goes, well, you can't be in the Western region. Okay. You're done. You're done with the Western region. So if you're going to do this, you got to start again in the East, which is what I did. And so for 2 years, I started all over again, making cold calls and all the shit I did when I first started, 20 years prior. And then, so I did that for 2 years here in Cleveland. And then I said, okay, that's enough. Enough is enough. I've done good. And it was a good ride, a really good ride for all those years.
Right. Now, you've also done some acting and your community service stuff that you've been doing at Park City. I heard most of the stuff about Park City because you were posting it on your Facebook page. So I know that you've done some acting also, and you were kind of involved in the community, right? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah. I was proud to be the coffee and donut minister at St. Mary's Catholic Church. I got a collar, kind of looked like a clerical collar, but it was a donut. Yeah. So, and then it was fun because, we not only did I have the Saturday show, and but also my wife and I both worked at the concessions at the Egyptian Theater, right on Main Street. It's where Sundance is held. It will no longer be held after this coming year, but throughout the year, they had so many different shows, and I met so many artists. I can't even remember them all. And they all would come out, and they want to meet the volunteers, they want to meet the people in town, take pictures with them. So names that you're too young to even know, like Jay and the Americans, and
Ken would know them.
Possibly, yeah.
Chubby Checker, and just so many groups from the 60s and 70s, and that's who would come in there. And that was fun volunteer work, because even though you didn't get paid, it was volunteer work. You work at the concessions, you see the whole show, so you get to see the show for free. And it's a small venue, 200 seats, so every seat is a good seat.
Yeah,
so
those are great venues.
Yeah, so we really, my wife said at the time, she goes, I'm going to miss Park City, and we do really miss Park City. But I came back here because I would come back every year for my reunions, even if my bride had to, which she did a lot, had to work when I came back for reunions. I would come back and see all our friends, and it was always like being home. I never left. Yeah. And so now it is kind of still like that. I come back and a bunch of the guys get together every Tuesday for lunch, and it's kind of a haul to get there, but close friends,
You're
close
the old
friends
guys now. You're the old guys having coffee.
Yeah. And you know what? Those meetings came in handy. I'll tell you a really quick story from this morning at 6:00 in the morning. I get up and I wanted coffee, and I broke the carafe. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go to this place called Sheets, which is really a cool place where you can order, coffee and food to go on an app and then go pick it up. So I go there, pick it up. On the way home, there's an island in the road. You kind of have to go around it. It was dark. It was raining. I hit the island and went over it.
Oh, no.
And I'm on the freeway driving a mile, and I see a car behind me. I go, fuck. So I hope it's okay to say that. But
car. Yeah, you can say car all you want.
So I know that the lights go on, drive over. So this is the first time I ever used this thing, right? So I get out my wallet, my ID, and a card that a buddy of mine from high school gave me, which is an FOP. It's an FOP card.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Fraternal Order of Police. He was a detective. And earlier in the year, he gave me this when we had lunch. He goes, if you ever need it, pull it out. So I pull it out and give it to the policeman. And he goes, who do you know? So he's high school buddy of mine. He was a detective. And where
I don't know who I know.
Yeah. And he went back to his car. He came back like 5 minutes later and said, be careful over there. I don't want you to hurt your suspension. He let me go. It was like, that thing worked. Oh my God. So anyway, that's the nice thing about having friends in low places, I guess.
There you go. Well, Joe, you've gone from radio waves to vending machines. So tell us about this vending machine business that you have, and where did that come from? I mean, you came to Lundy this year, as we do every year in September. I've told Ken about it. I've told many people about our group at Lundy. We've been doing this for 55 years, and then you come into camp talking about vending machines. So how did this all come about?
Well, I blame Gary Berkey.
Gary Berkman.
That's who I blame. Because we were talking about it when he would come to the trip. He didn't have vending machines, but he had jukeboxes, right? And things like that. And I thought, that's got to be a fun job to go from place to place and just collect money. I don't care if it's quarters, And of course now a lot of it's credit card anyway. But I just thought, and he always told me I could do it when I want to do it, and I make my own days. And so last year, I retired from the company on January 3rd. So last year I started on the weekends. I tried doing Lyft. I thought I'll do a Lyft driver. That's cool. I can do that whenever I want. I can make my own hours. If I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. I thought that's the kind of thing I want. I don't want to have to go someplace and be there for a certain time and then come back. And, I like that whole idea with Lyft. That was a good idea. But when I started looking into the vending machine business, to me is total freedom, because the only thing is it's hard to leave for more than 4 days out. I've gone to California twice. Okay. I've been back there for 4 days, and then I have to hurry up and come back because the machines get empty. But I just thought it was a great way. Like tomorrow morning, I'll go out early. I'll be done probably by 10. And if I don't want to go out in the morning, I go out in the afternoon. If I don't want to go out that day, the machines won't look as full, but I'll go the next day. That's what I love about it is I was always regimented, with my job. It started I was at my desk here in my office at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I'd work till 5:30, 6 o'clock. And it was like that Monday through Friday. And then you go on trips and things like this. And, it was very regimented, whereas I can do whatever the hell I want when I want. And freedom. I love that. And then, what I was worried about missing was the social aspects of what I was doing, because that, to me, that I love the best is my customers go to lunch, especially for free, right?
Right.
And just that whole social aspect of it, I like more than anything else. I still have that, not only when I'm in there servicing the machines, I talk to the supervisors and people there and making friends with them, and it's really cool, and it's not going to make me rich. It's
Right.
okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
I need to get out of the house because my wife and I have been married now 20 years in February, and that's a personal record for me. So I want to keep that record going.
You got a personal best now. Yeah,
I got that PR, going up.
Yeah, just to give you a little background, he mentioned Gary Berkemeyer, and Gary Berkemeyer is one of the founders of the fishing trip that we go on, that we've been doing for 55 years. I think I surpassed the 30-year. You surpassed 20 not too long ago. But Ken, he's the one that I went to go see when I saw you. Yeah, in Eau Claire. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
he's
just a little background area there.
He's about an hour from me.
Yeah. So what was the first machine you bought, and do you remember your first sale?
Yeah, it was to an Amish wood mill.
A what?
So, yeah, there's so just south of Cleveland, there's a big Amish settlement in a town called Middlefield, Ohio. So when you start getting into town, you got to watch out for carriages and horses and road apples and things like that, right? Yeah, it's a huge wood mill, and they have a little break room. And, my first thought was, do these people use credit cards? And the answer to that question is no, but which is fine with me. Use cash. That's okay. But put it in there. And it's one account, it's one of my accounts, the only account I have that I pay a commission to. If a place wants a commission, in this case, they say, they don't have any electricity coming in. They actually have a generator, right, for all their electricity. Can you imagine all this wood mill stuff going on? You got to have quite a generator to make that work. So he said, just you have to pay for a little bit of the juice that you're going to use for the machine. Right. It's a refrigerated machine. So that's what I did. And that still is my second best account.
So what do Amish people buy out of a vending machine?
Typically, the numbers are like, you look at the number of employees there, not counting people, like if there's people coming in and out, truck drivers, customers, if they have access to the machine. If you just look at the employees, an employee will usually vend 1.5 times a week. So if you have 50 employees, that's about 75 vends a week.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool. So yeah. you started this with a single. Go ahead.
Yeah. What's in the machine? So what?
And what I learned, Ken, is that every place is different.
Sure.
So I've got the Amish, not a lot of high energy drinks, coffee, yes, for sure. Caffeine, yes. And a lot of sugar. Forget about diet shit. They don't want that. They just like real sugar. These people, there isn't one that is overweight. I mean, these guys are all real thin, right? Because of the work they do. So they just want sugar. They want candy. They want chips. They don't care. And then I have 2 other accounts that are manufacturing. One's a meat place that does the best jerky and smokies, and another one that does. You've heard of incinerators? Yeah. They do all the testing for the incinerator products.
Oh, really? For the garbage disposals, right?
Yeah. So they're shipping out pallets of incinerators like every day there, but they actually have 2 machines. They have a snack machine that's not refrigerated and one that is. So anyway, the people that work there in that place are older. The people that work at Weaver's Meats, it's kind of like California, a lot of Hispanic, right? So you put Mexican Coke in there. You just put different things in each machine, trying to find the sweet spot of the things they like. And sometimes, if you put it in, it doesn't work, you pull it out and try something else. What I love about the systems that I have is I can look at my phone and see what's selling. I can see what I need to bring. I can create a pick list of everything I have to take with me. So there's no, I don't have to go in there and look and see what's missing. I already know what's missing. So it saves a lot of time.
Yeah. So is this like you go to, I mean, I see people in Costco that have like these carts. I mean, they got everything on the cart. You're going like, how can you drink that much Coke? Well, of course they're doing something with the Coke and the popcorns and everything. Are you like doing the Costco Sam's Club run every month or so, or you've got inventory in your garage? I mean, how does this all work out with you supplying the supplies to the vending thing?
I used to do route sales early in my life, and it was always like having to go in, look at the rack, come back out, get the product, take it through a receiver, right, in the warehouse. They have to check it in, put it in the shelf, say goodbye. This is like, I don't have to go in there and look. I already know what's missing. I don't have to check it in with anybody. I own the product and the machines. So it's so easy to do this. And it's powerful because, and it took me about 3 months to figure this out, how powerful the programs were to be able to see, what you need to pick, what you need to take there. But more important, to see what's actually selling. To look at, here's for instance. I have a freight company that I have a machine in, a refrigerator machine. And I had water in there. And I went in there, this is so damn stupid, but, fundamental, right? I go in there and I'm servicing the machine and I see next to the refrigerator in the break room, there's a water machine. Guy's getting water for his bottle, right? So when he left, I looked and I saw how many times in the last 6 months, because it's been in there 6 months, have I sold water? Twice. And I don't make any fucking money on water. I sell it for $1, So needless to say, I took it out and put something else in there. But you learn, over time. It takes a little while. And I was taught by the people that sold me the machine how to do optimization on the product that you put in there to get the product mix right. It almost is never going to be the same every week. There's changes here and there with the product mix. And, hey, some people, you put in Sun Chips, which is kind of a more wholesome snack. Yeah. And they don't buy it. So, but you put chips in there or pretzels, or they love it. So, it's just hit and miss, but you figure out, what I'm figuring out is that there's a lot of girls, a lot of women, chocolate is the thing. And
there you go, chocolate. Yeah, women love chocolate.
That a long time ago.
Women love chocolate. So going to that, so you have several places that you have your vending machines in. Did you buy any of these routes, or did you develop these routes yourself, or inherit them from somebody who you networked with that kind of gave you the route? I mean, how do you come about getting these places? Is it just going out, shaking hands, saying, "Hey, I'm in the vending business. Love to put something right there in that corner"?
Here's what's funny, Chip. You won't believe this. So I work with the company that finds the locations for me. They scout the location, they talk to ownership or stakeholders, they get the prices lined up, what they want, they do a survey. All this stuff is done for me, and what I have to do is buy the machines through them. And there's a premium for doing it, but then they also teach you all these things I just talked about, the systems and everything, the training, how to optimize. So I thought, if I got to pay a little extra for a machine, it's worth it because I'm new in the business. And I don't have to go out and look for machines, right? So after I got like 6 machines, they came to me and said, Joe, you used to be in sales. You could go out and get machines all day long. I bet you could, And they said, we really need somebody. We need somebody to help us with this because, and we just are asking for like 15 hours a week. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm done with that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I have a grandson here who's really sharp and did door-to-door sales. He's in college. He did door-to-door sales every summer I think you should talk to him. Anyway, he talks to my grandson, Vinny. The kid started in March. He's got 50 locations this year.
Oh,
Wow.
The kid just kicked ass because what you have to do is canvas. You have to literally go business to business to business, meet people. Do you have a machine? Can I see the machine? Are you getting good service? Most of the problem is either the machines are old, they don't take credit cards, or they're not serviced very well. And so they want somebody new to displace those vendors, or they don't have anything. Like that Amish wood mill had nothing before. So you get a little of different things, but and then I don't have to. And now I've got my grandson, so I really don't even have to pay for him. I could just put him to work to help me if I want more accounts. But right now I'm good to go. I don't want to work. I don't want to work 40-hour weeks.
When it's work, then it becomes when it becomes work, then it's unenjoyable. That's like I love podcasting. That's why I do it. If it ever became like work, no, I'm not interested in it. My gardening, that's not work. It's something I enjoy. If it becomes work, I don't want to do it. Yeah. But going forward, so the way they pay now is like tap to pay and credit card and stuff like that. Is quarters and dollars gone or what?
Not at all. No. In fact, 65% of my business is cash.
Oh,
still.
Okay.
And some of that is skewed because of the Amish, but still a lot of people use cash. I get charged 6% when somebody uses a card. I pass that on to the customer. Mm-hmm. So if you use cash, you're not paying that extra 6%. So I suspect some people just don't want to pay the 6%. I mean, we're talking about a bag of chips that's $1.25. Yeah. Pop, that's $1.75. This is not high finance, but you add it all together and it's it's a lot of fun.
So you have low overhead. You have a relatively cheap product. You're probably, I'm sure you're making a good, a good profit on the margin there. So is the margin good in vending? I guess that's my question. Is the margin good in vending?
It is from 50 to 65% gross profit. So you buy something for $1, you better at least get $2 for it.
Yeah. Ken has taught me this over the years just like,
the mistake of people in sales that when they go from sales into creating the product and then selling it, and they don't understand the level of margins that you need. So that was one of the questions that I had. So you got a vending company that you're buying the machines from. They also set you up with locations and give you some good training. Yeah, I agree with you. That would be a excellent machine to work with. Do they also so you got to be set up with a wholesaler somewhere, because you can't be going to Target and buying buying chips there and then selling them in the vending machines.
No,
you're not going
to. It's Costco isn't close to me, so they're not really convenient for me. My warehouse primarily is Sam's Club, and but also Walmart. Also, you buy in bulk. You're buying 24 packs, right? 12 packs if they don't have 24 packs. You're buying 30 packs and 42 packs of candy. You're buying bulk and then breaking the bulk, right? So, BJ's. I don't know if you have BJ's in Canada.
Yeah, BJ's wholesale.
Yeah. BJ's I buy from. But really, and then we have, believe it or not, you've heard of Dollar Tree. Believe it or not, there's things in Dollar Tree that I can find for like $1.25 that I can't find anywhere else.
Right.
For instance, Hostess products, Hostess Twinkies or Ding Dongs or the coffee cake or the cupcakes. You can't buy those wholesale. So you have to buy them from Dollar Tree, and it works. So you find, I've learned, that's another thing I've learned, Ken, over, I've only been doing it since February, really. So what I've learned is there's certain areas to certain stores that you just specialize in certain things.
Sure.
Like Walmart. I put, you guys ever heard of Verner's and Crush and Grape Crush and Fresca?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fresca, you can't get this at Sam's Club. Yeah.
Right.
You can't get it at Sam's Club, but you can get it at Walmart. You know, you can get these off things like Fanta Orange in Walmart.
Tab. You have any
Tab, oh my
tab?
God, Tab.
Remember Tab and Fresca. My mom was always on a diet, and we always had Tab and Fresca in the 70s.
Oh yeah, Tab.
I missed the 70s cans of Fresca. I don't know if you remember what those looked like.
Yeah,
they were the most colorful and interesting looking cans. Oh, they're great.
Tab had probably the worst product aftertaste of any.
Oh my God, the worst.
Yeah, if you had a can, have a glass of Tab on ice, and the aftertaste afterwards, then you know what cancer tastes like. You just you know what some sort of Noma flavor would be if it was a flavor. It's Tab.
Yeah, it would clean your hubcaps of rust.
Yeah, exactly. It'll take acid off of a battery cable. I mean, it was a wonderful product just for not drinking.
Yes. I do know some people that are in the vending business, and they're in the vending business to be in the quote business, and make a career out of it. But do you see this as like is this your retirement business, or is Joey going to be doing something after vending or something like that? Or, because you tried Lyft. I tried Lyft. I hated Lyft.
Yeah, did you?
The one thing I wanted to do, I started out in Lyft in San Jose, going back because I was making a commute back and forth, and I figured, I'll just do this stuff in San Jose, and all of a sudden I'm going up to San Francisco on a Wednesday night in middle of traffic. It sucked. And then all the liability and all the issues with your car and all that other stuff, I went like, I hate this. So I quit. But so yeah, I'm close to retirement. Joey, that I'm going to retire probably in 2 to 5 years, and I'm using podcasting. I'm using my Plexus business. I'm using my my gardening and stuff to keep me going forward, because all those things are things that I enjoy. So it sounds like vending is going to be your business. I mean, it seems to me like you're enjoying your job. You're enjoying the vending business, but also it's not work. So I love that. I think that's cool.
It's not. And my wife is helping me, so she gets a check, which she likes too, and then she gets me to be gone a lot, which she likes too, So it's all good. It's good.
It's all good. I love that. So, what's the weirdest thing that somebody's ever asked you to stock in the vending machine?
Well, I'm still kind of new at this, but I think everybody asks about cannabis. It's legal now here in Ohio, and it's like, no, I can't do that. I mean, you can't just put it in a machine.
Well, here's the deal.
It'd be nice. It'd be good for revenue, though, right?
For a business plan for you, this would work. Hear me out. This is $1 million idea. You can own this whole market. I'll open up the Wisconsin version of it. But when I was looking on Facebook Marketplace for just random garbage that I don't need to buy, the other day I came across a cigarette vending machine with the pullouts. Remember those? And being an ex-smoker, those were great. There was always that feeling. It was the only machine on the earth that had that. You pull that little knob out and if you heard the thing fall down, gummies in the cigarette vending machine, because you have all the different flavors and stuff. You can get the machines for like $600-700 that still work. So the machines are dirt cheap.
Isn't that crazy?
And then you can put boxes of gummies in there. Boom, $1 million business.
What's funny is the company that I buy the machines from is called Wittern. They're out of Iowa. They've been doing this since the mid-30s, and they were the first ones. They've got thousands of patents, and they were the first ones to come out with those pull cigarette machines that we remember so well.
Yeah, the cigarette machines, I remember those well.
Yeah. Well, it's come a long way. I've got one machine that has an elevator, and it goes up to the top. Because it doesn't want to take pop from the top row and dump it all the way down, so it comes up and picks it up and then drops it, brings it down,
treats it nice.
Yeah, I like that. So talking about security about vending machines and stuff like that, let's not talk about so much the security about people stealing stuff or hacking the thing, but how about high check by ants or like animals and stuff like that? You ever have any problems with that situation?
It's funny. My wife showed me she showed me a reel on Facebook the other day of raccoons getting in a machine.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, honey, I don't think there's a machine around. First of all, just a little subtle thing. I saw the raccoon pull the door out towards them. Okay. These don't exist. You push the door in.
Right.
So it was fake. Okay.
It was AI.
It was all fake. So I said, no, this is bullshit. It looks cool. It's cute. They look cute and everything, but it's fake. And so, but no, for me, I mean, they're in break rooms. They're in places where, I mean, I've heard a story where I had one in a warehouse at a roofing supply place, and I put pylons around it because I was worried that a forklift would run into it or something like that. You know, I do have insurance. It's very, Hartford insurance is very cheap. It's a few $100s a year if something happens to the machines or whatever. Somebody gets sick from the product or what have you. It's very
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's not a big deal, but no, it's it's one of those things where it's not a lot of hard thinking, which is perfect for me at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
I wonder. I think
too hard anymore,
Bruce, as you talk about having maybe rodents or something intrude into the machines, maybe like an ill-tempered possum as a guard. Something with give him a hat and he just sits outside with some shades on and smoke. It's a possum. Just looking around. Keep the cats away and the squirrels.
Yeah. You know what? It was fun. It's funny because I was afraid because we've all used vending machines, right? And we've all got stuff stuck in a vending machine. So my arm. Thing my thing when I started was, is this going to be a problem? And they said, look, Joey, the new machines, they actually have an infrared beam. If the product doesn't go through that beam, then it waits about 30 seconds and then it curls it back around until it comes out. Sure. So nobody's not going to get their product. Now, what I found out is that a couple of times they've gotten 2 products, but for the most part, and that's okay, but for the most part, it really does a good job of, and at the bottom, so there's a tray, right? Where everything falls into, but if you don't push in the door, that the catch doesn't fall apart for the product to go in. So unless the raccoon does know to push in, then that door wouldn't open up.
Yeah. So you do the maintenance, or do you have a maintenance contract with somebody that does maintenance on the machine?
There's really not much maintenance of refrigerator, right? But I am learning, like, little by little how to fix little problems, and a lot of it, just like in real life with your computer, is shut the thing off and turn it back on again and reboot it. I can't put dollar bills in there, and I shut it off, turn it on, try it now. Okay, it worked. So, but now I'm getting more savvy where I can actually go on my phone and I can tell, like, for instance, with the Amish, I can tell if there's something wrong with their machine. I know it because they're not spending cash. There's less sales and they're all credit card. Something's wrong down there, right? And of course, you give them give them your number, but they don't call you. So you just have to pay attention to it a little bit. That's all.
Is there? Do they have like a tilt like the old pinball machines, and someone's rocking it to get that? I'm getting my Snickers no matter what.
No. And I try to tell everybody, like, when I'm there, that if it's stuck, just wait, because it will come out. And if it doesn't, if something's wrong, which has happened too, where the coil, the auger, gets disengaged in the back where the motor is, that's happened too. And somebody came up to me and said, this didn't work. So I said, when did you buy it? And I went on my phone. I go, you weren't charged for that. So you can see right there, that's what you were buying at $0. Right. So just so you know, you weren't charged for it, but here you go. Mm-hmm. And I usually just give it to them. If they had any problem with my machine, I just give it to them. We're not talking about high bucks here. It's better to have a customer that loves you rather than somebody who thinks you're a pain in the ass.
God damn it. Give me my
So-
salsa sun chips or I'm calling the manager.
So speaking of the way they pay and everything, so this is all app driven as far as you're concerned with this. It's all hooked up to an internet connection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no problem in hacking these things with credit card information, people swiping or tapping or anything like that. Is that pretty safe these days?
It is. It really is. And so it's got an antenna on it for Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
And it's constantly feeding me information 24 hours. My accounts really don't do much on the weekend, so it's really Monday through Friday that I have to pay attention to, which I like that. I've had a chance to do like car dealerships and places that are really busy on the weekends. I just see that's the nice thing about being able to pick and choose, right? And not have to just take everything that comes your way. So no, I mean it's very safe, and as far as whether it's the credit card and everything, I get paid every Friday. Just goes right into my bank account, and so I don't even have to think about it. They send me a statement, how much it is, and I add that to all the cash deposits I put in, which I put in almost every day because there's a lot of cash.
Awesome.
still.
Awesome. So in your vending machine mind and your territory that you have, where's your mecca? Where's the mecca place that you want to put a vending machine, and what would you put in it?
Yeah,
Where is that place?
There's a place called Buyers Products right here in my town, and what they do is they make accessories for like salt trucks, bulldozers, all these different things. And what I love about them, and there's a lot of places like that here, they work 3 shifts, so there's always cars there. There's always people working in there. That's my nirvana, is to get a place like that where 24 hours a day people are buying your stuff, and you have to go there every day to service it because it's just so busy. That would be great.
The 3
Especially
shift
if
place,
it's
the 24-hour, the 24/7, 365-day place. That's what you want.
Yeah, especially if it's close. The company's been asking me about accounts that are like a little far away from me, and every time they ask, I say, it's just too far. I'm getting picky about it because I can.
Yeah, why
Well,
not?
you can be.
Well, and that brings up a question I have. So, vending machine, like you said, it's a refrigerator inside, but you still have to move it. So, do you have a trailer? Do you have a little flatbed? Do you got some kind of a crane apparatus hanging off the back of a Subaru? How do you move these things around?
Ken, again, this is what is part of what you pay for. So the company actually installs it.
Oh, great.
They're there
That's
to install it and make sure it works right. And so I had one freight company where I had to bring 2 machines up steps, like about 15 steps. They had a device that would move that up the steps with the dolly. It actually rolled it right up the steps. It was
it's got a little 3-wheeled thing that I've seen those.
Yes.
We had to do that at my past company. The first time we bought a 3D printer, this was back in 2000.
Yeah. Wow.
2004. And it was about the size of a refrigerator, but it's a $40,000 machine.
Yeah.
And we had to move it up a flight of stairs to the upstairs in this building we were in. These stairs were rickety old deck stairs. And we're there on a 2-wheeler. We got a strap going around it. There's 2 of us. One point, the air conditioner was that hung in the window, stuck out too far. So we had to get like one wheel off the stairs. There was no railing. And we're moving it up one at a time, just muscling this thing up the stairs.
Yeah.
We got it up there, got it to work. But yeah, that's why I think about that, because I remember that time, and I'm like, well, how do you get that? But having the company actually, set that up. And so if there's something that goes wrong with the machine, say it, the conductor pin drops and the canister injector doesn't, reject the jumper arm, do they come and get it and fix it then? Or do they have a service that way too?
No, so I've got, everything new is still under warranty for me, but once it's out of warranty, there's actually a guy near me that is an old-timey vending machine mechanic.
Yeah.
So I've become fast friends with them. Not that I need him yet, but I'm just becoming fast friends with him because he's a nice Italian boy and he lives close to me and he can really help me with my business eventually. So that's what you do. But, it's like, but little by little, you kind of learn just simple things, like the coin discriminator. You learn how to clean it out and how to make sure that, some asshole puts a 50-cent piece in there. You can actually, you find it, you dig it out of there and then it clears it out and everything's just fine. So, that's what's happened to me is little things like that or bills.
So I must have been to your vending machine at some point. Because I could be that asshole.
So competition wise, is it wide open out there? I mean, it sounds like there's not a lot of competition.
Like my grandson told me, he said, he probably would go to 20 or 25 locations before he got a nibble. Mm-hmm. So it's not, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. And that's why I didn't want to do it. Even if they're going to pay me to do it. I said, no, because I just didn't want to do any kind of hustling like that. So, but it's not easy because, there are some good vending companies that are giving good service and, the people are happy with them and the machines are good. They're newer and they're fine with it, these are all like brand new machines. The best, really the best machines I think that are made. And so like, I feel really good that I'm working with a company that's been around forever, almost 100 years, that really knows their product. And they do give support. I mean, it's free support. Just like I had a couple of motors that the augers came off and he spent time with me and he goes, hey, is that machine level? I took a level and put it on there. It's not level. That was one of the problems with the machines. So they're really good about like finding, remotely finding what the hell's wrong with the machine if something's wrong with it. And so that's been a big help several times now. But yeah, no, it's I didn't want something that was like that was gonna take up a lot of my time, number one, and number two, take up a lot of my mind. Right. I like there's something really stupid, simple that I could do and then have fun with people when I go there and service the machine and, put on my blue gloves and look official and all that.
Well, I guess my final question would be this. If someone was going to take this and go like, okay, I want to make a business out of this. I'm a young kid. I just want to do vending, or they're just retiring and they want some kind of side gig like that. What would your best piece of advice be to somebody? Either you have a separate piece of advice for somebody who wants to business or a separate piece of advice for somebody who wants to do retirement. What is your advice to them?
I mean, try to find somebody that has a business that's in need and get the first one done so you can get a feel if this is even for you, right? Because like the Amish machine, that like most of these machines, I'm leasing the machines and I'll own them in 4 years, right? But the first few machines, I just bought them. I bought them out of pocket, and I like to do that because then I don't have payments, right? And that's important. So buy as much as you can with cash, if you can. I would say that, number one, and then find locations that at least have 30, 40 employees. 20, you're really on edge there. That's a little, but you get to 30, and you, like I just said, you get to 30. Now you're talking about 45 vends a week, right? Yeah, you want to be able to make, your revenues be at least $500 to $1,000 per machine every month from those machines.
Well, good advice. Hey, Joey, hope you have some time to go on the other side. We got some bonus material that we want to do for our Patreon subscribers and some of our special subscribers. So I can hope you can hang around. But man, it's been great talking to you. Number one, because I get to see my buddy twice a year instead of just once a year when I go fishing. But yeah, it's always cool. We talk a couple of times a year, but I mean, still, it's good to see you. Good to see your face on the screen. But thank you for being here, man. There's a lot of people that are online who have been listening to this. I know one who's going to be John Odermatt, who is also trying to get into the vending business, and I hope that he had a whole bunch of information just levied to him that can help him out, and that you've helped a lot of people out that are trying to find a. Yeah, I will. I'll connect you.
I got time to talk always.
Yeah, he's in Pittsburgh, so he's not too far away from you. Yeah, for sure.
The company I'm working with will actually find him locations in Pittsburgh if he wants to do that.
Absolutely. Cool. So well, thank you for being here. Ken, do you have any last words or questions for Joey before he goes?
That was really interesting. The vending. I had some friends that did that for a while. This is years back, and you can make a fortune at it if you're going to put the time in. If not, like what you're doing, just have something to get out there and enjoy. And it almost is like kind of a hobby that'll make you some money, and it's kind of fun. I think it's a great idea. It's an excellent.
You know what, Kenny? I could have 100 locations and hire 2 or 3 people to help me. Yeah. I just don't want that kind of thing in my life anymore.
Right. And you don't have to have it, which is great.
I could do that and make a ton of money, honestly, a ton.
Yeah. Cool. Well, right on. Well, hey guys, like, share, subscribe to the podcast if you like it. Share it with a friend or two. Somebody who needs to get in a side gig, or somebody who actually wants to start a business. That's what we're here for on the Road to the Report. We're doing small business entrepreneurs. We're doing all kinds of other things that just help you sustain your life. And if Ken has any last words, I'm going to let us go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in a small business to support is Colockum Coffee, of course, was sponsoring the show. Another small business you can support is my own. I'll shamelessly self-report, madkstudio.com. I'm an artist and I make all kinds of different things. So go to madkstudio, MADDK studio.com for all of your artwork needs. Releasing a new coloring book this week. So
to all my Patreon subscribers and everybody else that pays us to watch our show and get all that bonus content, we're going to do another hour with Joey, or as long as he wants to stay, on episode 87. So we'll see you again next time on the Weather Report. Joey, thanks a lot for being here, and we'll see you next time on the Weather Report. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And there we go.